Good morning. Take a deep breath with me. In and out. Look around the room. You are not just sitting here listening to words, you are sitting in a field of infinite possibility. But for many of you, that possibility is blocked. It's blocked by a chain, a chemical dependency to the past. We are here today to talk about the most creative act you can perform letting go. Not just of an old thought, but of an old identity and an old destiny. The question is not what you are letting go of, but who you are becoming. The first truth you must accept, the foundational principle of all transformation, is this: your thoughts are not trapped inside your skull. They are not ethereal, fleeting occurrences. They are real, measurable energy. Your brain is not just a biological organ, it is a sophisticated processor and transmitter, an electrical device generating power. And every single thought you entertain produces an electromagnetic frequency that you are relentlessly broadcasting into the limitless field of energy that surrounds you. You are not merely thinking, you are literally announcing your reality. Imagine your brain as a radio tower. If you are stuck in loops of worry, judgment, or fear, that's the channel you are tuned into. That is the only signal the universe can pick up from you. This signal is your electromagnetic signature, and it is the only thing that matters in terms of creating your future. This signature is created by the harmonious, or more often discordant, relationship between your electrical thought and your magnetic emotion. Your thoughts are the electrical charge. They are intention, they are the potential that sets the tone for your future. But a thought alone is weak. It's a silent whisper in a crowded room. It is only when you add the second component, emotion, that the whisper becomes a commanding shout. Emotion is the magnetic charge. It is the frequency that draws things back to you. When you combine a clear, intentional thought with an elevated, coherent emotion such as gratitude, joy, or love, you create a powerful, unified wave. This is the coherent field. Now consider the opposite. If you consistently hold thoughts of lack, fear, or limitation, you are broadcasting a frequency that is low, dense, and disorganized. You are, in essence, vibrating at the frequency of your past experiences. You are repeatedly firing and wiring the neural networks of who you used to be. The law of the universe is simple and absolute, like energy attracts like energy. If you send out a disorganized, low-frequency signal, your reality will reflect that disorganization back to you. You are literally pushing away the very possibilities you claim to want. You cannot create abundance from a state of poverty consciousness. You cannot attract love from a state of bitterness. The electrical signal you transmit must be congruent with the event you wish to manifest. This brings us to the importance of coherence. When the brain is coherent, meaning the different areas are working together rhythmically, the electrical signal is strong, steady, and clear. But the real game changer is heart coherence. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that is thousands of times stronger magnetically than the brain's field is electrically. When your thoughts, a brain, and your feelings, a heart, align, when you are truly feeling the future you are thinking about, you are generating a massive, coherent magnetic wave. This wave is what allows you to move out of the fixed, linear time of Newtonian reality and step into the simultaneous reality of the quantum world. You are literally moving past the limitations of matter and time. To change your mind is to literally change your electrical signal. It is to deliberately interrupt the old pattern and begin to lay down a new neurological blueprint. It is the moment you choose a new thought over the familiar, comfortable old one. Every time you consciously observe that negative thought pattern and choose to replace it with an elevated thought, you are using your consciousness to collapse the wave function of infinite possibility into a new single, observable reality. You are acting as the quantum observer of your own life. This requires energy, and this is where most people fail. It takes significant energy to move from the familiar energy of the past, which is easy because it's known, to the elevated energy of the future, which is unknown. But when you do the work, when you hold that new thought and embody that elevated emotion for an extended period, you begin to send out a strong, focused, and powerful magnetic signature. You stop relying on the physical world to give you the reason to feel good, and you start using the feeling to create the new physical world. You become a vibrational match to the destiny you desire. This is the mechanism of creation. This is the ultimate glow-up, because it starts not with the outside, but with the electrical charge in your brain and the magnetic field in your heart. You are literally changing the frequency of your personal reality, and the universe must respond. Why is letting go so profoundly difficult? It comes down to basic chemistry and conditioning. The moment you have a thought, your brain instantly goes to work. It creates and releases a specific, unique blend of chemicals, neurotransmitters, and neuropeptides that match that thought. If the thought is one of anger, your body is flooded with the chemical signature of anger. If the thought is of victimhood, your body receives the corresponding cocktail of peptides designed to make you feel victimized. This process is what we call the thought-feeling loop. The thought generates the feeling, and the feeling, through this chemical release, signals the brain to generate more of the corresponding thought. It's a closed system, a continuous, rapid-fire conversation between the brain and the body, where the chemistry validates the thinking. The body, however, has a survival mechanism that drives this loop to become chronic. The receptors on your cells are constantly being bathed in this chemical soup of the past. Over time, your cells start to regulate, and become accustomed to that exact chemical environment. They literally build and rebuild themselves with receptors that are optimized for the chemicals of stress, suffering, guilt, or inadequacy. The body, in this sense, is no longer the separate, innocent passenger. The body is now the conditioned mind. It is expecting and demanding the chemical fix it has become biologically dependent on. This is where your past is stored, not just as a memory in your brain, but as a deep biological programming in your cells. If you are addicted to the emotion of stress and your brain is no longer generating a stressful thought, the body is programmed to panic. It sends powerful distress signals through hormones and nerve impulses back to the brain. Something is wrong! We are deviating from the norm! We need our dose of anxiety or drama to return to homeostasis. The body, operating in the subconscious, is screaming for its familiar chemical environment. And what do? Because those chemical signals are uncomfortable, that feeling of restlessness, irritation, or emptiness, you interpret those feelings as the voice of truth. You think, I must be sad because my body feels sad. You then consciously or subconsciously generate the old stressful thought, feeding the body the exact chemical it was craving. You return to the familiar identity, the familiar problem, just to quell the uncomfortable feeling of withdrawal. This is how you willingly trade the potential of the unknown for the comfort of the predictable past. To truly let go is to consciously endure that phase of chemical withdrawal. It is the moment you observe the body's tantrum, the fatigue, the impatience, the sudden, overwhelming desire to react to an old trigger, and you refuse to surrender your mind to it. You choose to sit with the void. You are asking your body to relinquish its emotional addiction, and the body will fight you. It will feel like anxiety, like fear, like profound discomfort. This is not failure, this is the breakthrough point. You must practice being greater than the chemicals. You must be the consciousness that observes the body's craving without engaging the thought that would feed it. By staying present, by choosing an elevated thought, I like gratitude or joy, in the face of the body's chemical demands for suffering, you are literally telling your cells, we are changing management. The mind is back in charge. You are forcing those receptors to regulate the old chemical sensitivity, and start waiting for the new, elevated chemical cocktail you are deliberately generating. This is how you systematically unmemorize the emotion. This is the power of letting go. It is a physiological, chemical liberation from the person you used to be. It is the beginning of transforming your energy. The crucial transformational moment happens when you deliberately step out of that emotional loop. We call this the moment of unbecoming. You must cease being the person who holds on to that victimhood, that fear, that story. You've understood the energetic signal and broken the chemical addiction. Now comes the leap of faith, the ultimate act of creation, the moment of unbecoming. This is not a metaphor. It is a neurological and energetic event where you dissolve the matter of your old self into the infinite energy of the quantum field. For most of your life, you have entirely identified with your problems. You have defined yourself by your environment, your job, your possessions, your health issues, and your past emotional states. You are the person who had that traumatic experience. You are the person who struggles with money. You are the person who always falls into the same relationship pattern. Every morning, you consciously or unconsciously reaffirm this identity by thinking the same thoughts, performing the same habits, and thus activating the same chemical landscape in your body. Your old identity is literally a redundant neurological program, a collection of hardwired memories and chemical signatures. To create a new future, that program must be systematically interrupted and dismantled. You must step out of the chemical bondage of the past self. This requires entering a state where you are no one, nothing, nowhere, and no time. Why is this state so vital? Because the moment you stop defining yourself by matter, by who you are, what you own, where you are, when you are, you move into the field of pure energy, pure potential. Where there is no thing, there is the potential for everything. The void, the empty space between the thoughts, is not a place of absence, it is the womb of creation. The moment of unbecoming is the act of stepping into the terrifying unknown. The ego, the conditioned mind, is wired for survival and predictability. When you stop activating the familiar neural networks of your identity, your brain signals danger. It throws up immediate distractions, your to-do list, your worries, the need to react to a text message, anything to pull you back to the familiar, because the familiar means survival, even if it's a miserable survival. That anxiety you feel when you seek stillness, when you try to quiet the incessant mind. That is the old self fighting for its life, recognizing that its existence is threatened by your new, conscious choice. Your job in this moment of unbecoming is to be greater than the body. You must become the consciousness that observes those thoughts and impulses without reacting to them. You choose to sit with the discomfort of the void. You choose the feeling of awe over the feeling of anxiety. You choose creation over reaction. When you are able to observe the self, the chronic thoughts, the automatic emotional reactions, Without engaging them, you are no longer the program. You are the observer of the program. This is why true transformation is an internal meditative process. When you close your eyes and focus on nothing but the elevated feeling of your future, you are systematically dismantling the old personality. The personality that holds on to the old chemical emotion is dissolving. You are choosing to sacrifice the old self for the new self. The moment you are truly nobody, when you are not thinking about your problems, your history, or your environment, you are pure potential. You are pure consciousness. And this is where heart-mind coherence truly becomes the bridge to your new destiny. For the new self to emerge from the void, you need an undeniable, strong signal. If your brain thought is still disorganized and your heart emotion is still closed off, the signal remains weak. The signal of your new self becomes powerful enough to break through the noise of the old only when the heart and mind work in unison. The heart center is the gateway to the quantum field. When you generate powerful, elevated emotions like unconditional love, joy, or gratitude, you produce that massive, coherent magnetic wave we discussed. By entering the unknown, becoming, and simultaneously firing this coherent, strong signal feeling the future, you are telling the universe, I have let go of my fixed, limited identity. I am now pure potential, and I am magnetically pulling my new reality toward me. This act of letting go, of dissolving the old self and stepping into pure potential, is the ultimate act of surrender and creation. It is the bridge between the old you and the new you. It is choosing to be defined not by the matter of your past, but by the energy of your future. It requires an immense amount of faith, faith that the void is safe, faith that the universe is waiting to respond to your coherence, and faith that the new you is powerful enough to emerge from the ashes of the old. Once you dissolve the fixed matter of the old identity into the infinite energy of the unknown, the creation process is inevitable. This unbecoming is the greatest freedom you will ever know. It is the necessary preparation for the next step. Most people live their lives trapped in the Newtonian model of reality. They operate strictly on the principle of cause and effect. In this model, they wait for something external to happen. An event, a person, a success to justify feeling an elevated emotion. They say, if I get the promotion, then I will feel grateful. If I meet the right person, then I will feel loved. If my health improves, then I will feel joy. They are constantly waiting for matter to change matter, relying on the outside world to signal their internal state. This makes them victims of their environment, forever chasing happiness that perpetually remains out of reach because their environment is merely a reflection of their past emotional states. But we are not Newtonian creatures, we are quantum beings. The quantum model of reality teaches us the absolute truth. The elevated emotion must come first. You must become the cause, and the effect will follow. This is the profound power that emerges after you have successfully navigated the chemical withdrawal of the past self and dissolved the fixed identity in the void of the unknown. You are now an empty vessel of pure potential, and you must fill that vessel with the future you wish to experience. The act of generating the future emotionally is the magnetic broadcast of your new destiny. Think back to your thoughts are the electrical charge, thus intention, and your feelings are the magnetic charge, attraction. If you are thinking about abundance but feeling scarcity, your electromagnetic signature is incoherent and conflicting. You are signaling yes and no simultaneously, and the universe responds with confusion, or more accurately, with the low-frequency reality you are prioritizing with your dominant emotional state. To generate the future emotionally, you must begin to feel the emotion of your desired future right now. This is the highest level of creative work. It is not about wishing or hoping, it is about inhabiting the emotion. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what would it feel like to wake up every morning already healed? What would it feel like to know, without a shadow of a doubt, that you are financially free and can generously give to others? What would it feel like to be completely fulfilled and in love with your own life? When you consciously engage in this process, when you marry the clear intention, the picture in your mind, with the elevated, intense feeling, the emotion in your heart, you are no longer waiting for the environment to change. You are becoming a vibrational match to that future reality. You are signaling to the quantum field that this future is not just a possibility, but a current energetic truth within you. You are moving from the realm of thinking about the future to the realm of being the future. This process requires sustained effort and energy. It is easy to be grateful when something good happens. The challenge is to muster genuine gratitude when your current reality is screaming lack or limitation. This is the true test of your creative power. Can you hold the frequency of joy even when the body, conditioned by wants to revert to anxiety? The moment you can truly feel the emotion of your future so intensely that the feeling itself causes you to forget your environment, forget your body, and forget the time you have succeeded. You have collapsed the wave function of possibility. When you get so lost in that elevated feeling, that state of awe, wholeness, or love, that you are startled when you open your eyes and realize you are still sitting in your current physical space, you have transcended the limitations of matter and time. You have entered the domain where creation occurs. The feeling itself becomes the primary feedback mechanism. You are training your body to be the mind of the future. You are telling your cells to stop waiting for the chemical cocktail of suffering and start generating the new, elevated chemistry of wholeness and gratitude. You are not just seeing the future, you are embodying it. This is why, when people begin this practice, they report unexpected synchronistic events. They stop searching, and suddenly the opportunity appears. They stop struggling, and suddenly the relationship finds them. This is not magic, it is physics. You changed your magnetic signature by prioritizing the elevated emotion. You broadcast a new frequency, and the quantum field, which only knows how to reflect back the energy you send out, had no choice but to respond with the matter and experience that matches your feeling. You moved yourself out of the fixed energy of the past and into the coherent energy of the potential. Generating the future emotionally is the fundamental step where the let go transforms into the glow up dop. It is the moment you stop chasing and start attracting. You are moving from waiting for a destiny to being the destiny itself.